We've always felt that the way in which health and care is traditionally delivered just isn't fit for purpose. It's not going to give us what we need for the future. One of the really exciting ways to change that is to move away from the traditional statutory services delivering and instead to work with local people, particularly through the voluntary sector, to make the most of the assets that people have in their lives. We've got 3 work streams which we set up. The first one is about funding and commissioning. It's about trying to shift funding to the voluntary sector. The second one is about empowering and engaging local communities. And the third one is all about representation of local people and of the voluntary sector.
Voluntary organisations are in the business of providing for local people and their essential needs in the way that previously local government or the NHS would have done. But they're doing it differently, and they're doing it in a way which promotes independence. And communities are vast, sometimes they're not at all collective, but local people do have connections in the places where they live and often where they work, and it's by developing those connections that they can quite often find the support that they just don't get if they were to go to the GPs or into the council.
One of the most exciting things about the work of the local community partnerships is a different way of funding opportunities being provided in Croydon. Over the next 2 years, it's been agreed that a certain amount of funding will be given to each local community partnership, and it's the members of the local community partnership who will link the use of those funds to the community plan.
The local community partnerships, I think, are one of the best things that's come out of the HCT programme. We were really clear that we wanted to put the resource and the power and the money essentially into those local community partnerships for them to commission the services that they wanted at a very local level.
You're here at the Brickstock Road Community Hub. It's in Scratchley Hall.
We have been providing community support activities all around for many years. And Hub came as a logical extension for us to provide those services, primarily because it helped us to not only bring partners into the service, but also statutory bodies like housing from the Croydon Council.
So many people walking through the doors to kind of have empowering conversations with our community facilitators and then be able to see a service provider, which is a bonus. It's a genuine piece of co-production in their community, which is accessible to them.
I was basically going to ask for help with counselling, but then I thought to myself, probably what I need is to take a voluntary work. It's a commitment that it will take me out of the house, and also I will help people, they will help me.
Quite often we see this with clients who come in with problems to resolve themselves, but actually they really want to help others in similar situation, because I think they have that empathy, they have a lived experience.
It's like my second home. Some of the visitors that they come to see us, it's a regular thing. Just like it becomes a bigger and bigger friendship and family doing the voluntary work. I wish more people would do that.
Any kind of change programme, I think, requires a huge amount of tenacity, a heavy dose of optimism, and to a certain extent, some blind faith. It requires us all to make a bit of a leap, really, in terms of what we want to achieve, and I think that's what we've been really successful in doing as partners in the Healthy Communities Together programme.
I think it's really important to recognise that we cannot carry on doing the same. Something has to change. We need to give agency to communities, and the only way to do that is to work with community groups to make sure that we're all working collaboratively together and creating an ecosystem that we can all help each other, support each other, and we recognise the strengths of different sectors, and this system gives us an incredible opportunity to create a better future and healthier people.